Hello, and welcome to FlipGrid Implementation and Elementary Subject Areas. What can you expect from this activity? You can expect an introduction to FlipGrid. You should expect to learn the positives of using FlipGrid in your elementary classroom. You will find demonstrations for how to create FlipGrid accounts and topics, learn how to create QR codes to easily access a FlipGrid video, how to moderate a grid, and you will find lesson ideas for elementary, ELA, math, science, and social emotional learning. You may be thinking to yourself, what is FlipGrid? FlipGrid is an online platform that allows users to record short video responses. A teacher can design a question or topic and allow students to respond in video format. Students can also respond to each other within each topic. FlipGrid creates a community of discussion to delve deeper into topics and show understanding. FlipGrid also offers features like QR codes and augmented reality features that allow for accessibility anywhere on any mobile device. FlipGrid offers many positives. FlipGrid allows students to interact in a familiar format and in a safe way. It also provides an outlet to present information in creative ways. FlipGrid allows students who struggle with traditional written responses to participate in meaningful discussions. It also allows English language learner students a platform to make their voices heard while learning English in a classroom setting. FlipGrid provides asynchronous learning opportunities at a distance. This means that not all students have to be present at the same time in order to participate in classroom discussions and lessons. And lastly, FlipGrid offers a format. The FlipGrid format encourages students to think through their responses before posting. With a little work, FlipGrid can be very easy to use. FlipGrid is organized in a very user-friendly way. Communities are divided into grids, and grids are self-contained units where students in a class can interact with each other. Each grid can be joined with a code and can be configured to a domain-specific sign-in. This means that users from outside of your school or district cannot join your grid. FlipGrid has integrated Google and Microsoft sign-in options. This makes sign-in easy and secure. Videos are then organized by topic, and the teacher posts a topic or question that students can then respond to. Getting started with FlipGrid is very easy. The first thing you need to do is in your web browser, go to the URL that is listed at the top of the screen. The web address is info.flipgrid.com. After you have gotten to the flipgrid.com homepage, you will see a landing screen that looks similar to the one in front of you. In order to sign up, you simply click the blue Educator Sign Up button and follow the instructions. After you have finished your educator sign up, the next time you come to the FlipGrid homepage, you will then click on the Educator Login button. The Educator Login button will bring you to your FlipGrid dashboard, and here is where you will see all of the different FlipGrids that you may be a part of. Creating a new grid from your teacher dashboard is very easy. The first thing you need to do is to find the red button that says Add New Grid and click. You will get a screen that asks you to create a classroom name for your FlipGrid. For this particular instance, I am going to use the name of the course that I am currently enrolled in. Below the naming field, you will find different options for how students may join your FlipGrid community. The first option is by using a school email address. The school email address option only allows students and users that have the same domain email as you to join your FlipGrid community. This prevents people from outside of your school or your district from joining your FlipGrid community. The second option is not one that I use very often, and this is the student ID option. This uses your student's identification number to allow them to log into your FlipGrid. And the last option is the educator learning community option. This is a public grid that allows people that do not have the same domain email address to join your community. This is a great way for educators to join grids with teachers from other schools or districts and to collaborate in the FlipGrid community space. Most of the time when I'm using FlipGrid with students, I use the school email function for login. What's great about the school email login function is that you can use Microsoft or Google sign-in methods to make sign-in for students easier. For this particular grid, I want it to be a publicly shared grid, so I will click the Educator Learning Community option. You will see that there is a FlipGrid code that is automatically generated, and that code can be used by others to join your FlipGrid community. You will click the next button, and you will come to an Educator Learning Community window, and it will ask you whether you want to add a password to your FlipGrid community. This is a very good practice to do, to add a password to your FlipGrid community. But for this instance, I am not going to do that because this is for demonstration purposes. I will get another window that says that my FlipGrid is ready. I will then see another field that has the FlipGrid code that is embedded there. I can copy that code, or I can share it by embedding it into a website, sharing it on Google Teams or on Microsoft Teams, or you can share it in your Google Classroom or on your Remind account. So now I'm going to go to my grid. After your grid is created, you will have a dashboard screen that shows the grid that you have created. If you scroll down, you will see an option for you to add new topics within your grid, and you will also see that an introductory topic has already been created for you. Every FlipGrid community and topic allows users to create a quick introduction video that they can introduce themselves to others in the grid and have a nice way to break the ice with the other users in their FlipGrid community. When creating a new topic in FlipGrid, it's a good idea to go into the Actions menu and edit your topic before you release it to your students. Under your Edit Topic screen, you will see that you can change the title of the topic that you are creating, and you can also give instructions to students for them to easily navigate the topic that you have created. You can also set the recording time limits in this screen. An introductory topic is a good way for students to get to know one another, and a 3-minute window may seem like it could be a very short amount of time, but filling 3 minutes talking about yourself can be a very difficult task to do. The most important part of this screen is the video moderation feature. It's a good idea to turn on video moderation before you release your topic to your students. The video moderation feature makes it so that teachers can view the video before it is posted to everyone else in the grid. It's a very good idea to use with younger students so that they are not creating any inappropriate material and sharing it throughout the class. After you have finished updating your topic, you can click the Update Topic button at the bottom of the screen, and you can share the topic with your students. It's a great idea for teachers to start the discussion by recording the first response. You can do this by scrolling down to the bottom of your topic page and clicking the green Record a Response button. When you click the green Record a Response button page, it will ask you for permission to use your camera and your microphone. Click Allow to give it access. As you can see, the camera will then start to turn on so that the student can see what they are about to record, and the teacher can also get a good idea for what will be within the student's field of vision. As you can see, I would not want to use the background that is behind me. Once you are ready, you can click the record button and you can record your first FlipGrid video. One of the great things about the FlipGrid resource is that it can be used in almost any elementary content area. Right now, we will focus on how to use FlipGrid in an elementary ELA setting. What's great about using FlipGrid in an elementary ELA setting is that it can be used in many different places. Many ELA classrooms keep journals to organize their work. Some examples of these journals could be a reader response journal. And in a reader response journal, students will read a text and then answer questions about that text in that journal. ELA classrooms also can require students to keep a writing journal, and they may also have a journal that is separate from their reader response and writing journals that allows students to keep it as almost like a diary where they can record their thoughts. FlipGrid responses can be used in addition to or in place of these traditional journals, especially reader response journals. Questions from the text that you've been reading in class can be asked and answered in a FlipGrid. The ability to extend responses for other students to view adds a measure of accountability as well as creates a venue for discussions that traditional journals do not provide. If a student is creating a FlipGrid response for their reader response journal, and they know that that response will be shared with other members of the FlipGrid community, then they are going to be more likely to take the activity seriously and devote time and energy to make a very good and well-crafted response. The ability for other students to then view and respond to their responses also makes it a more interactive experience than your traditional reader response journal. What's great about FlipGrid is that it gives reluctant writers another avenue to express and to answer questions. So reluctant writers may feel more comfortable recording a video response instead of writing a paragraph response in your traditional journal setting. Teachers can use FlipGrid in ELA settings in other ways as well. One way that I really like to advise teachers to use it is that teachers can highlight important texts by attaching a QR code to a page in a text and record a short video to help explain its importance or ask a probing question. A teacher can simply print off the QR code that takes students directly to the topic. And while the student is reading a book or other text, when they see the sticky note with the QR code attached to it, they can scan the QR code and respond to that topic in real time. FlipGrid also allows students to use another medium to convey information, which aligns to parts of the Common Core state standards. An example of this is that in the speaking and listening portions of the ELA Common Core standards, it is required for students to be able to present their information to other students in the class. And it can be done in many different ways according to the Anchor standards. I also like to advise teachers to use FlipGrid to augment their traditional poster presentations. In many ELA classrooms, it's very common for teachers to ask students to create a poster to present information that they have learned within a unit. Traditional poster presentations can be augmented with a FlipGrid QR code that allows pre-recorded videos to be part of the presentation. All you have to do is attach a QR code that links back to a student's pre-recorded video and attach it to the poster presentation. So while students are viewing the poster, they can scan the QR code quickly and see the student who created the presentation give more information in their own words in real time. Creating a new topic within your grid can be very easy to do, and navigating back to your grid dashboard is easy as well. If you go to the top of the screen, you will see the topic that you are currently in, and then the grid that it is a part of. If I click the grid that I want to view, I will be brought back to the grid dashboard. To create a topic and add a new topic within a grid, I simply scroll down and click the red Add a New Topic button. The topic that I want to create today is going to be focused on the elementary ELA classroom. So I am going to name my grid Elementary ELA Topic. Below the title, you can give a prompt that will allow your students to see what directions you are giving so that they can answer the question in a very easy way. For this particular prompt, I want to ask teachers, what are some great ideas for using FlipGrid in an ELA classroom? You will set the time. I like to keep mine at about 3 minutes, and then turn on video moderation so that I can view the videos before they are shared out with the students in the class. Finally, I click Create Topic, and you will see that students can go directly to the topic page by typing in the URL that is listed here. And you are also able to create a QR code that students can scan that will take them directly to this topic page. We will get into using QR codes a little bit later in our presentation. You may also share this FlipGrid in the same ways that you shared your grid details. You can embed the code. You can share with Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, and Remind. When you're ready, you can click All Set, and the grid has now been created. You can, again, record a response before your students see the page, so you can give more verbal directions for what you would like students to do with their topic recording. And I would recommend that teachers do this for every topic that they record. Many teachers see the benefits of using FlipGrid in an ELA environment, but FlipGrid can also be a very beneficial tool to use in a math setting as well. I often said in my math class that you've never truly mastered a math concept until you can teach someone else how to do it. Elementary classes constantly emphasize the idea of showing the work, showing how you arrived at an answer. Elementary math teachers can allow students to demonstrate their understanding by showing their methods using a FlipGrid. By creating a FlipGrid topic in your math classroom, you can allow students to walk through solving a problem and showing each step that they have used along the way to solve the problem. They can record the video and then share that video out with the other students. Teachers can also record short videos about skills and attach a QR code to the homework that they send home. Students and parents will then have a resource to guide them when they are unsure how to proceed. Many teachers are familiar with the constant refrain that I took my homework home, but I didn't know how to do it, and my parents didn't know how to help me. By attaching a QR code to the homework that you send home, you can help alleviate some of the stress that goes on at home while students are doing math homework. Another thing that you can do in your math classroom is to create interactive displays throughout your classroom by posting QR codes and linking the students explaining math problems and concepts. Let's create a simple activity that we can use in an elementary math classroom that really leverages the benefits of FlipGrid in a math elementary classroom. So the first thing you need to do, just like we did in our ELA topic, was to create a new topic. So let's click the red Add a New Topic button. The activity that I want to talk about today is one that I really enjoy doing in elementary classrooms, and that is the Show Me 3 Ways activity. The Show Me 3 Ways activity gives students a simple arithmetic problem and asks them to show 3 different ways to solve the problem. So I'm going to name my topic, Show Me 3 Ways, and I'm going to make it a subtraction problem. In the prompt section, I'm going to actually list the question that I want students to answer. So I am going to have students answer the question, solve the subtraction problem, 18 minus 9 equals what? Then I'm going to advise them to show 3 ways to solve the problem. The 3 ways that they could use to solve the problem are completely up to them. Some of the ways that students have answered this question in the past is to use the traditional algorithm by stacking 18 on top of 9 and subtracting 18 minus 9 to find the answer. Another way that they have solved the problem is to use an open number line and start at 18 and count backwards 9 spaces until they arrive at their answer. And another way that they could solve the problem is to simply draw a picture. I am going to set the time that I want to allow my students to have to show their 3 ways and explain each of the steps that they took in order to solve the problem. So I will set this one to be a little bit longer because I would really like students to go in depth and explain each strategy that they've used to solve the problem. So I will give them 5 minutes. Of course, as with every other topic that I do, I like to create a moderation part of the assignment. I want to view the students' work before I publish it to the rest of the class. And you can also come down here and you can add media to this assignment. So if you wanted to take a picture of the question and post it on there, you could upload it from an image library, or you could record a video of yourself asking the question, and then that video would appear at the top of the topic page. I will now click the Create a Topic. It gives me the QR code option that we have discussed earlier. It gives us the URL option that you can post on the board, or you can embed into a website, or you can share in the other avenues as well. Click All Set, and your topic has been created. The media that you wanted to attach to your topic would be found right here in this field. Right now it is blank. If you scroll down, you can see that there are 0 responses, and each time that there is a response, you will see that this number changes and you can view the responses in that area. FlipGrid can also work really well in an elementary science setting. One of the benefits of elementary science standards is that they spiral throughout grade levels and build from one year to the next. So content that students learn early on in elementary school is revisited later on as they get older. FlipGrid videos can be recorded to demonstrate a scientific concept. So an example of one of these scientific concepts could be Newton's 3 laws of motion. Students can create videos that illustrate scientific concepts and share them with other students in their class. Another way that you could use FlipGrid in a science setting is to have older students create videos that demonstrate scientific concepts for younger students. So students in younger grades can see that what they are learning now will be built upon and will be applied to concepts for students in older grades as well. Another idea for using FlipGrid in elementary science settings is allowing classrooms to post their QR codes to videos outside of their classroom. Traditionally, elementary classrooms may hang up posters in the hallway that show that they are working on specific concepts within their classroom. We could then attach these QR codes to different posters in the hallway, or we could just hang up the QR codes themselves in the hallway and allow students to transform the traditional school-wide gallery walk, where students from one classroom walk around the school and view the work of other students. And we can make this a more interactive experience. So students from first grade could take a mobile device and walk in the fifth grade hallway and scan the QR codes to see what other students in the fifth grade are doing in their science classes. Let's take Newton's 3 laws of motion and create a FlipGrid assignment that focuses on what students have learned about Newton's 3 laws of motion. So again, I will go back to my topics page and I will add a new topic. I'll name the topic Newton's 3 laws of motion. And for this prompt, I want students to record a video that illustrates an example of one of the 3 laws of motion. The idea for this particular prompt would be that students have created an example of what the 3 laws of motion would look like. And I would imagine that students would only use a very short video clip to illustrate this. It could be an illustration of a car crashing into another car with a little Lego figure that is bouncing out of the car that shows the specific property that is involved in Newton's 3 laws of motion. So I'm going to create a recording time of 15 seconds. As always, I turn video moderation on. And if I wanted to, I could attach a GIF that would be very engaging for students to look at and would make them really think about what they could use to make this assignment a compelling assignment. I will click Create a Topic. All of the ways that I can share my topic are here, and I click All Set. A content area that is of extreme importance in elementary school settings is the social and emotional learning topic. The school that I teach in is a responsive classroom school. And in responsive classroom schools, we hold morning meetings to allow students to check in with one another and to help build community in the classroom. These are usually teacher-led, and they have activities that are attached to them that allow students to loosen up in the morning and make the transition from being outside of school to inside of school. One extension of a morning meeting could be that teachers could create a FlipGrid check-in question for students to answer while they unpack in the morning. This could help students to use more personal stories in their morning meetings and to give teachers a better gauge of where students might be when they walk in the classroom. So teachers can then get a personalized check-in from each student, and they can decide whether to follow up later in the day to ask more questions and to see if they can support that student in another way. Students can also provide support for other students in their classroom with these daily check-in activities if the teacher decides that they would like to share those among the grid. Teachers can also choose to highlight a particular response by projecting that video for the entire class to see. A popular activity in morning meetings is an activity called the Monday Share. And in the Monday Share, teachers will ask students to share one important or exciting thing that they did over the weekend. So adapting that in a FlipGrid environment, what we could do is we could create a Monday Share topic, and then we could ask students in the directions to share one important or exciting thing they did over the weekend. We can ask them to elaborate as to why it was important or exciting. And then an important addition to this question would be, can Mrs. J share your video with the class? It's important to ask the students to give permission. We wouldn't want to embarrass a student by highlighting their video if they didn't want it to be shared with the entire class. If you look underneath the Monday Share title portion, you'll see a red hand, and that red hand means that the topic is moderated. So that means that the teacher can view the question without actually sharing it out with the rest of the class. For this particular topic, I searched a GIF in the Giphy feature down at the bottom underneath Focus, and I attached a GIF to it. And I included it in the FlipGrid topic. Thank you for watching this training video for FlipGrid implementation in elementary content areas. I hope that you have found some ideas that you can use in your elementary classrooms. Please consider giving some feedback about this training video by following the bit.ly link and filling out the brief survey. Thank you for your time.